Welcome back into the Sean podcast. You got me, the Big Ush. You got that man, the Cat Daddy. Cat Daddy, what's on your mind?
Ooh, another week in the NFL and another wacky week that made me question everything I know or everything I think I know about football. And I sit here and think, how much do I know? Do I know anything? That's what this week did to me.
What we know is we don't know nothing.
I don't know nothing. That's true. That's true.
All right, we're going to get into this wacky week. So, starting out with one of them games that we apparently don't know nothing. On Thursday night, the Ravens went into Miami, got beat by those Miami Dolphins. It was not typical. The Miami defense showed up. I guess it was healthy this week. And only half the game was played with a competent quarterback. Sean, any thoughts?
Not many people expected the Dolphins to walk away victorious in this one, especially me. Didn't expect it. The offense became more efficient, I think, once emergency quarterback Tua Tagovailoa came into the game. So
they looked a lot better.
It really started creating questions of, okay, well, Tua's got the broken finger. I get that you want to protect him. You don't want to do further damage, set him back. But you're trying to win ball games, right? Your best player in there.
Not to mention,
performed well enough.
Let's be honest, he got hit in the finger and still kept it going.
Yeah, he came away from the game no worse than he entered. And I believe Brian Flores has already announced him as the starter going into week 11.
No crap.
But other than that, it was right. Captain Obvious told us that Tua is going to start in week 11. But, you're thinking the big difference, I think, was how aggressive Miami's defense was and what their approach was, because they were blitzing defensive backs on Lamar Jackson just about the entire game. I mean, Javon Holland, their rookie safety, led the team with 6 pressures on the quarterback, which is not that it's unheard of, but it's a very infrequent, even rare thing.
That's their strength. They've got defensive back on top of defensive back. They've got so many defensive backs that, from what I'm hearing through the grapevine, is that Miami could release Byron Jones after the season. Think about that.
Hey, they've got the talent. Try and trade him if you can. Trade him before you can release him. But the defense played well. The defensive backs were not only providing pressure, but they were providing great coverage. The defense as a whole prevented running lanes, especially on Lamar. And
that's what they really did. They held Lamar in check.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily the running backs. It was Lamar himself.
And then the nail in the coffin was Xavier Howard scoop and score in the fourth quarter off that Sammy Watkins fumble.
Yep. Now, I've got 2 opinions here. You said the defense was aggressive. Well, in my opinion, it looked like the offense got aggressive when Tua went in there. All of a sudden, Jalen Waddle could go downfield.
Wait. He catches a ball more than 8 yards downfield.
I mean, what a concept. And 2, I'm speaking directly to Baltimore like they're listening. But if you are listening, Baltimore, Rashad Bateman, get him the ball before the fourth quarter. Get him the ball. I get it. Sammy was a big acquisition, and I actually do like Sammy Watkins. I mean, Marquise Brown, solid player, but I don't think he should be featured as much as he is. Bateman made plays pretty much every time they got him the ball. And he would have had a touchdown if Lamar could have put the ball out in front of him instead of straight to the defensive back. But moving on from this one, and we're going to get right into it. Get out the way. So it was a tale of 2 concepts. Either my Cowboys were going to come out flat against the Falcons again and exposed for the frauds they were, or they was going to get all pissed off. They was going to come out and they was going to just, I mean, to be honest, what happened was not even close to what I thought was going to be. I thought they was going to be mad. I didn't think they was going to get this mad. So if you don't know by now, the Cowboys hosted the Atlanta Falcons in a revenge game for their defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn, who said he didn't really think about it. He just wanted to get past this week. BS! Because your defense was killing them fools. They beat them 43-3. And, I mean, Dak played well. The wide receivers played well, especially CeeDee Lamb. The defense, especially the defensive backs, were just killing it. Sean, any thoughts?
Don't call it a comeback, but maybe call it Dan Quinn's revenge game.
You think this meant more to him than he's let on?
I think so. I think definitely in the locker room, I think they're celebrating way harder than we even
Well, guess who got the game ball?
Who's that?
Dan Quinn.
Sure did. I mean, you have to imagine this was probably one of Matt Ryan's worst games as a pro. He was 9 of 21, threw for 117 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He took 2 sacks. The Cowboys were quite literally living in the Falcons' backfield, and I lost count of the negative plays that the defense created. You're thinking,
you want to know another part of that stat that you didn't mention?
What's that?
Guess how many third downs that Matt Ryan converted?
Well, I know as a team they were 1 of 11.
Just guess how many he converted?
How many?
0. It was Josh Rosen who converted a third down.
Good old Josh Rosen. We haven't heard from him in a while.
I didn't even know he was on that team.
Neither did I. Until I was up in the box score. But the Falcons barely got over the 200-yard mark of total offense. They were 1 of 11 on third downs, 0 for 2 on fourth downs. I mean, they even had a punt blocked that was recovered for a touchdown.
Oh,
at the
great story there.
End of the second quarter.
Great story there. The person who recovered it for the touchdown was the same person last week that touched the ball that gave it back to the Broncos. Nashawn Wright. I mean, the whole storyline was checking boxes. And let's not forget, Randy Gregory was not playing in this game. DeMarcus Lawrence was not playing in this game. Dorrance Armstrong was the guy who was showing up. And, of course, Michael Parsons, but we'll talk about him another time.
Yeah, but this game could have been 60 minutes of the Dallas defense versus the Atlanta offense, and Dallas still would have won.
All right, the other part of this that I'm just going to mention before we move on. This is one of the first games that I've ever had the broadcast just switch. I had to watch the rest online because the broadcast on the East Coast was like, this game sucks. we're gonna switch to Washington and
we're losing viewers. We got to switch.
So moving on to another game, because I mean we're getting lengthy there. The Saints went into Tennessee, and even with who's their quarterback? Trevor Siemian. Even with Trevor Siemian at quarterback, the Saints gave the Titans all they could give. Titans win 23-21, and a close one. Sean, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you're thinking the Titans have been playing pretty hot the past couple of weeks, and it comes down to a game where they somehow beat the Saints, and it makes you wonder: are we starting to see where the mean is for Tennessee, what they really are, or did New Orleans come out and just really play better?
I think this has more to do with New Orleans than Tennessee. I think Tennessee is one of the best teams in the league, but I think the Saints are a quarterback away from being a fantastic team. Like, I don't think Tampa would have a chance if they had like a legit quarterback. And I mean, Jameis was on the way to looking like that dude. And I mean, Trevor Siemian, no offense to him, he ain't that guy. But at the same time, they ain't even got the weapons. I mean, Michael Thomas isn't there. I mean, me and you can name them, but the average person probably can't name a single wide receiver on their squad.
No, they wouldn't be able to.
But this is a championship defense.
Absolutely.
Like pure and center. They've got some dang good running backs and good running offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the guy, I forgot his name, but he went down for the year. But the offensive line's still doing well. This team's going to make some noise. That defense, they'll make some noise. All right, up next, with the Jacksonville Jaguars, went into Indianapolis. Did not go quietly into the night. Jacksonville gave Indianapolis all they could handle. But Indy comes out on top 23-17. Any thoughts on this one, Sean?
Watching it, Trevor Lawrence continues to look like a rookie, and I'm not sure if I mean that to be an insult or not.
I don't think he looks bad. He looks like he needs more time.
And
right?
It might be more time, but it also might be talent, because I think talent has a lot to do with it. You're thinking
around him, you mean?
Yeah, not him as an individual, but surrounding talent, because who are his biggest targets in the passing game? Dan Arnold and Jamal Agnew.
Who?
Jamal Agnew.
Who?
You don't hear much of exactly. You don't hear much of Marvin Jones.
And DJ Chark is injured.
Yeah, this was the 5th time this year that he's completed less than 60% of his passes. 2nd time he's completed less than 50% of his passes.
I just wonder how different this team would be if Travis Etienne wouldn't have gotten injured. I just wonder. The talent he is and what they were preparing for him to be. I wonder what this team would be with him in there.
I wonder what this team would look like if they went harder after free agents during the offseason, knowing they had pick 1-1, knowing that you're taking Trevor Lawrence.
When we get to our free agency episode after the season, there's one Dallas Cowboy free agent, which I think is going to command a mighty fine market personally. Maybe even by your pack. But I think I think a team in your division should sign him. Anyways, that's just to tease y'all to keep watching for months.
Yeah. We still got stuff in the offseason too. Don't forget about us. We got stuff in the offseason.
All right, next up, the Browns went into New England and got the beat down put on them. Now, to be fair, Baker, did he leave this game or did he not play?
No, he left this game.
He left this game. I mean, he wasn't playing well when he was playing in this game. But at the same time, he left this game. Yeah, they weren't good. No. I mean, only one player I saw was good, and that was Myles Garrett.
It's a bad thing for a pro team when your best player or your best players on the defensive side of the ball. Cleveland could not do anything, could not move the offense after the opening drive. And
actually, Sean, I'm just going to scrap what we're going to talk about, and I'm going to ask a question. People don't really need much analysts on this. I mean, it's 45-7. Let's be honest.
Whoa. Congratulations to Kobe Myers for scoring his first career receiving touchdown. Let's not forget about that.
Too bad it wasn't from the starting quarterback, and it was in major garbage time, but good for you.
Hey, he got it.
My question is this. Was Bill Belichick's demise greatly exaggerated?
I think it was.
I mean, I just love how like people are like, oh, Bill Belichick can't do nothing without Tom Brady. Bill Belichick's is done. And then the rookie quarterback comes in. They push. They give Cam his walking papers. By the way, what Bill Belichick said about Cam this week. Bill Belichick's a class act. One of my favorite coaches. I know he sounds like a dick to most people, but he's one of my favorite freaking coaches.
Mostly it's the press. but that's okay.
I think he just doesn't like the media. And neither do me or you, so it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're thinking last year, people were saying the same thing about Tom Brady when he got off that slow start to Tampa Bay. Oh, he's washed up. He can't do anything without Belichick. Turned around, went to the Super Bowl. Now is Bill Belichick going to lead the Patriots to the Super Bowl this year?
I don't know.
It could.
I'm going to say I don't know.
They're in a good spot to
They've
have.
got a darn good team.
It could be a wild card.
Quarterback playing very well. I think they will make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's very
they will.
But I think he is a better coach than just having Tom Brady. So I don't think Tom Brady made him, nor do I think he made Tom Brady. I think they just work so well together, and they're doing well even apart from one another. But if we can circle back to Cleveland real quick.
Why do we need to go back to Cleveland?
I know, because the question I was asking myself is Baker Mayfield, who left the game in the third quarter, getting a second contract from the Browns?
Here's the thing. I think he should. I really do. If the Browns want to be honest with themselves about the Odell Beckham situation, considering they moved on from him, they put Baker into a toxic environment. If they want to be honest with themselves about who was the coach before Stefanski? Freddie Kitchens.
There we go.
If they want to be honest with themselves about the Freddie Kitchens situation, they put Baker into a toxic environment. You keep putting someone in a toxic environment, they are not going to respond positively. Baker has played well at times. Put him in positive situations and he will play well. Put him in negative situations and you see what you get. This is any player in the league. Let it be Patrick Mahomes down to Trevor Lawrence. Baker's no different. Now, I'm not saying Baker's going to be as good as Patrick Mahomes or as the upside of Trevor Lawrence, but he can easily help the Browns win. He's done it in the past. So, yes, he should get a second contract. Now, note, that being said, should he get Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott money? No, he should not.
Nope.
I mean, maybe Carson Wentz money. I can see that.
Yeah.
I
agree.
But, I mean, does he deserve like top tier? No.
No, but I agree. I think he does deserve a contract from the Browns with how well he's played and how well he's performed. He's been the best quarterback the Browns have had for how many decades?
Especially in the environment that the Browns promote. Let's be honest. The Browns do not put their players in the position for success. They really don't. Moving on.
Enough Browns. We'll come back next week for them.
Another blowout. This time it's the visiting team. The Bills go into East Rutherford and remind the Jets that they're still the Jets. And they beat down the Jets 45-17. And let's be honest, Josh Allen didn't even have that great of a game. And they still beat down the Jets.
Oh, it was bad. Like, you're thinking the Jets season went from bad to worse to
bad again?
worser. Right? They played sloppy. The Bills played good. It's a bad combination.
They won 2 games.
Mike White came back down to earth because
Did you hear what he said?
Did
you hear what that idiot said?
Didn't he say he deserved to be the number 1 pick?
Yes.
Yeah.
The number one overall pick?
And he was a 5th round
Bruh.
pick, I think.
Yes, by the Dallas Cowboys. And he ain't even on the Dallas Cowboys. That should tell you something.
Yeah, came back down to earth. 4 interceptions against this Bills defense.
I ain't got nothing to say about this one. Bills are good, Jets are bad. That's all you need to know.
The Bills are looking good. They had 4 different players score a rushing touchdown, which I thought was amusing.
They're a good team. They're a good team. Are they the best team? No, but they're a damn good team. Onward. The Lions, the Steelers, played a football game.
Which gets a nominee for worst game of the year.
I was about to say, and that's all I have to say about that.
Neither team wanted to win this game.
Not only was this an ugly game, not only could the Lions not get a W against Mason Rudolph, who did not play particularly well.
No, nobody did.
Not only did each team do their best to give this team away, the NFL's dumbest rule in existence made there to be 0 winner for this game. And I say this is the dumbest rule in existence, and the taunting rule exists. The taunting rule exists. A rule where a player cannot show emotion. We want our players to be robots. Yet, this rule is dumber. There should be no ties in sports. Period. There's not even ties in hockey. They did away with it. Now, they've got some weird scoring system with overtime losses, but I ain't going to get into that.
Yeah, even after the game, Najee Harris was surprised that an NFL game could end in a tie.
Well, how many years of college did he play? I don't fault a rookie, because how many years of college did he play?
Yeah, he was there.
He played 3 years of college, right? And in college, can you have a tie?
It keeps going and going.
No, sir, you cannot have a tie.
Going.
I know exactly why you can have a tie in the NFL, and it's a stupid reason. You know why, right?
Probably, but tell the people.
People, the reason why the NFL allows ties is because they don't want to go over a certain time limit for TV time. It's all about how much they can broadcast. And for certain networks, you can only go so long. You've heard broadcasters in the past will say, we'll stay with this as long as we can. And that's the problem. When you let TV dictate games, you are going to have a bad product. And that's what happened with this Lions-Steelers game.
I mean,
wrong?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. In all honesty, if overtime continued until there was a winner, this would be the equivalent of the Illinois-Penn State game where they went to 9 overtimes.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes, it would. Yeah, because Deontay Johnson's like, hey, I'm going to get us into field goal range. Oh, wait, I fumbled. Detroit misses a field goal. With less than 20 seconds left, Pat Freiermuth catches a ball to get him in field goal position, only to fumble. It was going to be a calamity of...
And here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Fantastically
I got
horrible
a solution for you. I got a solution for you. I got a new rule change.
Bring back a skills competition for overtime?
No. We can play the game like it's played. Do the first part just how it's done. You go down. If you can get the field goal, you get the field goal. If you get the touchdown, you win. The other team goes down. If they can get the field goal, awesome. If they don't, now, no more punting.
You know, I'm good with that because I don't like... I'm not a big fan of punting to begin with. So
Yeah.
I would be okay if we just removed the punter from the entire game.
But I mean, you think about it. You have to go for it on fourth down, no matter what.
I already love this idea outside of overtime. It doesn't need to be overtime for me to like this.
I mean, I'm just saying. I get what you're saying, and I hear you. But I mean, for overtime in particular, have a winner. This is stupid to have ties. It's 2021. We can figure this out.
No, don't worry. The NFL and whatever the competition committee will come up with some.
What, they gonna do shit like college?
No, they'll come up with the tie in place because they're going to come up with some foolish reason that says, well, we really want to protect the player's safety, and after playing 70 minutes, we think they're going to be tired and they're going to be more susceptible to injuries, in which case...
Yeah, we got a 17-game season.
17-game season. Not only that, but we have a horrible strategy for the Thursday night games where teams have very short turnarounds and you risk players getting injured with minimal rest and recovery time.
And a 17-game season.
Like, how hard...
And a 7th playoff team.
How hard would it be to say for Thursday night, when you have your bye week, when you come back, you play on Thursday nights?
Easy. But they're idiots. All right. Anyways, we're gonna move on from this because there's a lot of emotions that we have on this particular subject. I've said it before. I'm gonna say it again. I think Sean agrees. We both love football. We love NFL football. The organization, the NFL, we have less love for. Far less love for.
Yeah, much less. Yeah.
On to another game that did make sense.
Forget everything I know.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers went into D.C. and got beat. Not just beat, they got beat down by the Washington football team. They need to name this damn team. I'm sick of saying football team. I want to say what, Wildcats or whatever, or Red Wolves or whatever.
Well,
actually, that's a good one.
I mean, the Red Wolves, I like.
Wildcats? I'm sure there's some freaking mountain lions somewhere in DC.
They'll wait until more of the emails are leaked.
Maybe the Washington Cougars, with all those politicians.
No, the Washington presidents. Yeah.
Well, you didn't take my joke literal. Anyways, any thoughts on this game, Sean?
I would not have expected Washington to win. I didn't expect Washington to win. If I would have told you that Montez Sweat wasn't going to be playing, and I told you that Chase Young was going to get injured, he's going to be out for the rest of the season, so he's not going to finish the game, you're probably thinking that Washington defense is going to get stomped.
No. When did Chase Young get injured? It was like early second quarter.
Yeah, he didn't make it to halftime.
No, he did not. This is crazy.
No, but Tom Brady threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter, which is very uncharacteristic of him.
Well, here's the thing to say. One of my defensive players of the year from earlier this season, he's still not on my list, but he's still awesome. Ex-Bama player Jonathan Allen apparently was wrecking this whole game. At the same time, is Brady showing his age? I hate to say that, but because Brady, this ain't just one game. This is a couple games that Brady hasn't looked good. Or is he just setting us up?
Hey, maybe he's setting us up. We look at last season, they didn't play well. They had the bye week. They came back from the bye week, and they pretty much just took the league by storm. Has Tampa already had their bye week? I don't think they have.
I don't know. But I do have a big worry for Tampa. Yes, they did have their bye week. I had to start I have Tom Brady on my fantasy team. I had to start Derek Carr. But I do have a big worry for them a key player in their running defense, and let's just be honest, their passing defense too, went down. And I don't know how long he's gone for, but he went down. You know what I'm talking about? Vita Vea.
Ooh, that's going to be a big loss. The secondary is hurting as already. But Vita Vea is probably one of the reasons they made it to the Super Bowl last year, because of all that.
When he
havoc.
came back, that defense was different.
Yeah. Yeah, and they still...
No, so it's not super serious. He did get carted off, so he's going to miss time.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay defense is not looking good this year. Not looking too good. Levante David's out, right?
Ooh, MCL sprain.
And then their secondary is depleted. Richard Sherman's down again.
David is back, though. All right, let's not linger here. I just got one question for you. Is Washington better than we think they are?
I'm going to say no. No.
Oh. John outright said no. So you think that this was just one of them weeks?
This is just one of those seasons where the only consistent thing is the inconsistency of teams performing well. You
Talk
have
about inconsistent.
Cincinnati dropping to the Jets.
No.
You have Miami beating Baltimore.
And to add to that, perfect segue.
You're welcome.
We're going to go to the next game, because the Carolina Panthers went into the desert. And I know they weren't without Kyler Murray.
DeAndre Hopkins.
They weren't without DeAndre Hopkins. But they weren't with them last week. And they beat the pee out of the San Francisco 49ers. And we're going to get to them in a little bit. And the Panthers stomped the Cardinals 34-10.
This was the Zane Gonzalez revenge game. That's what it was.
Without Sam Darnold and basically playing two quarterbacks.
Cam Newton's return. He was signed just 3 days prior to this game.
I do have a question, because there's one play that Carolina made that didn't make no sense. So they had a 4th and 1, right? A 4th and inches, right? And they went for it. They called a QB sneak with PJ Walker in the game. You've been putting Cam in on the goal line. What in the world made... I mean, I know PJ Walker got it, but why in the world did you not put Cam in there? There are two quarterbacks in this league right now that I trust on a QB sneak. Can you name them?
Is Cam Newton.
One of them's Cam Newton. Can you name the other?
Who else would you trust in a QB sneak?
The GOAT when it comes to QB sneaks? That's a hint. Tom Brady. Tom Brady easily the best at QB sneaks ever. I think Tom Brady's like what 1,002 in terms of QB sneaks. Anyways, any other thoughts about this game? I mean, does this say more about what the Cardinals were missing, or the fact that the Cardinals team needs Kyler Murray and they're not as good of a team without their studs, or are the Panthers better than what we thought and Sam Darnold was holding them back? Which is it? Or a little bit both?
I think it's both, because you're thinking Kyler Murray is a huge difference maker in that offense. So there's only so much success that Colt McCoy can sustain, because the last time Colt McCoy is winning regularly was back at University of Texas. So let's put that out there. It's kind of like that Mike White. It's the Cooper Rush. You come in one game, okay, you can do good for one game, but 2 games, 3 games, where does that go? So I think the injuries are catching up to Arizona right now. But at the same time, I think having, I suppose, more energy and excitement at the quarterback position. Because if this game was all PJ Walker, there was no Cam Newton, I don't think Carolina wins 34-10.
Cam starts the next game.
I think Carolina could still have won that game. I don't think it would be by as much. But Cam Newton just brings a whole different energy to the game, to the fan base. His first 2 touches resulted in touchdowns.
Now, all right, here's what I'm going to say also. And people can shoot me for this. I don't care. But I feel like the Carolina Panthers are being ran by like a toddler on crack. I mean...
toddler on crack. All right.
My understanding is they're technically still paying Cam from his previous contract. They're still paying Teddy Bridgewater from his contract. They're still paying Sam Darnold, obviously. And they're paying Cam again.
Yeah, it's a really funny circle where they paid Cam a couple of years ago only to pay his backup money, only to pay his backup money, only to pay his backup money, who turned out to be Cam Newton all along. So maybe Carolina should have just kept Cam Newton.
Yeah. That being said, I'm going to switch gears to the Arizona Cardinals, which infer it's not about the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to go back to a different team. If anybody knows me, and I've said this to a lot of my buddies this week, Sean knows this. He's seen some of the texts. I'm all about team building. That's my big thing. There's a process here, and it's all about team building and appropriate moves for the future. You need to know where your team is going. And honestly, Pittsburgh Steelers. James Conner is a damn good player. I know Najee Harris might be slightly more dynamic. Or maybe he's a lot more dynamic. But honestly, you had a good back who would have been inexpensive to retain. Believe he's from Pittsburgh. Went to the University of Pitt. Would have wanted to stay home. Probably would have taken a hometown discount. But you let him walk out the door because you had what? Issues, or Ben Roethlisberger said some nonsense. Instead of keeping that dude, upgrading your offensive line or upgrading your quarterback position. This is bad team building. I just wanted to rant that about the Steelers. I know the Steelers have played well and they've got good players, but they have a bad model for building their team. All right, I'm going to move on. I don't think Sean has anything more to say about that. He just won't let me drop the mic on that thing. I know I didn't drop no mic. My mic is connected to my jib arm right here, but you get what I'm saying. Next up, we got the Minnesota Vikings going in to LA and beating the the LA Chargers. I keep forgetting because LA don't like the Chargers. But Minnesota beat them in a close game. This has been like the tail of Minnesota's season. They just did it better this week. You know, even though they did their best not to win. They were up late in the game, and instead of running the ball, they decided to pass it. And it almost bit them in the buttocks. But it didn't. They pulled one out, and they're still in the playoff hunt. Any thoughts on this one, Sean?
Mike Zimmer's defense did a really good job against Justin Herbert. He was throwing the defensive looks and schemes that were pretty much trying to fool Justin Herbert the whole game. It looked like it was working, and you had a pressure applied quite often on him.
I think it was actually more. All right, so this is going to sound odd. I'm going to ask you a question first. Who should be Justin Herbert's favorite target?
Keenan Allen.
But he's not.
No.
We can agree with that, right?
Yeah.
So who is Justin Herbert's favorite target?
Mike Williams.
Mike Williams. And they shut down Mike Williams. Keenan Allen was open the whole game. The whole game Keenan Allen's open. But Justin Herbert wanted to go to Mike Williams. And the Minnesota Vikings like, no, we're not giving you that guy. So Justin Herbert needs to regroup, realize Keenan Allen's really good. They could have won this game with Justin Herbert throwing to Keenan Allen the whole game. I'm sorry, but Keenan Allen was open the whole game. I get what you're saying. They did get pressure on him. They did do well. But in terms of things, when you look at this game, if he would have just targeted Keenan Allen the whole game, they win this game.
They should have won this game in the third quarter. Minnesota should not have been able to convert that 4th and goal situation.
Well, there's that too. Sorry for my ice, people. I just got to keep hydrated, you know? Yes, I'm drinking water. All right, anyways. Moving on to the next game. And all I'm going to say about the next game, because you got pretenders, and I talked about with the Cowboys game, and this is the team that beat the Cowboys to make the Cowboys look like a pretender. Well, this team was a pretender. The Denver Broncos were. But that's not my big thing here. That's not what I want to talk about. I want to ask Philly fans. Oh, I really want y'all to come at me. If any Philly fans watch me, hit me up, Ush Elliott, on Twitter, Instagram. Let's hit this. I want to hear from you. Why do you guys think Jalen Hurts is the problem? Jalen Hurts is not your problem. You have way different issues in other parts of your game. Jalen Hurts is actually playing good football. Your coach needs to understand his quarterback better. And there's other aspects of this game that need to be better. But the Eagles win on the back of Jalen Hurts. Trust me on that one. Sean, go ahead.
They won on the back of Jalen Hurts, but they were also aided by Teddy Bridgewater faking interest and stopping Darius Slay on his fumble return touchdown. I mean,
oh, you saw that?
Denver was only down 7 at that point. It's a one-possession game. You tackle Darius Slay there and don't let him go the other 60 yards for a touchdown, you make it.
I gotta ask you.
Yeah.
Did you see that before I texted that, or did you see it? Or was it after I texted? You gotta be like, wait, what? No, I'm asking. Did you know about when I texted you?
No, not when you texted me.
So you saw my text and you're like, wait, I gotta check this out, because you couldn't believe that someone made such a business decision that Teddy Bridgewater made in that situation.
Right, but what business decision was there?
I mean, Teddy Bridgewater, I don't know if he thought that Darius Slay was like a bull and he was a bullfighter. But I mean, he pulled a full ole.
Well, the funny thing was, you see Teddy Bridgewater going for the step like he's about to do like a shoulder-to-shoulder hits, like side shoulder.
And he's like, woo!
He's like, you know what, actually, let me not. And it almost appeared that he got in the path of another Denver player who was trying to chase down Slay. So not only did he fail to tackle or attempt to tackle, he may actually have stopped his own teammate from getting the chance to tackle.
Oh, Teddy. That is my WTF moment of the week, actually. I had to debate. Actually, you brought it up. You made me remember. I had to debate because there was another one I was looking at. But that was my WTF because it's so blatant. It's so bad.
It was.
I mean, I've never seen anything like that.
If I were Vic Fangio, if I were on the sidelines, I wouldn't be very happy with Teddy Bridgewater right now. Now, unless there's more information in there about why he didn't tackle or make the attempt to tackle. Like, I'm feeling some sort of way. Like, we're close. We could win this game. But
Teddy's his quarterback.
Oh, we'll see how much longer. I don't know if they're going to consider going back to Drew Lock. They shouldn't, but...
A tale of two teams up next, both with their quarterbacks coming back. One played well, the other didn't. Sorry. I'm sorry.
This is the Seattle-Green Bay game, and this game was simultaneously boring yet eventful. You know, you're thinking a game that has two future Hall of Fame quarterbacks. The offenses were lacking. I mean, we didn't see any of the scoring excitement until the fourth quarter. I mean, granted, Aaron Rodgers coming back from COVID. Russell Wilson coming back from a broken finger. So I didn't have high expectations for Russell Wilson to begin with. From his fractured
I got a question,
finger.
though.
Yeah.
I got a big question for the Green Bay fan. From what I saw, should A.J. Dillon be starting over Aaron Jones?
Should he? No, I think over the past couple of years, Aaron Jones has shown enough that when he comes back from his injury, I think it's an MCL sprain, when he comes back, he should be able to assume that starting role without a problem, assuming that he's fully healthy, no setbacks, no risk of setbacks. But A.J. Dillon is starting to look like a better draft pick that the Packers made. However,
I'm going to rephrase the question.
Mm-hmm.
Should they be playing different roles? Should A.J. Dillon be more of the starting ball carrier and Aaron Jones be more of a pass catcher?
I can see them taking the thunder and lightning approach. A.J. Dillon's the thunder. Aaron Jones is the lightning.
I got you. All right, moving on.
We're not moving on from this one yet.
You got more?
I think Aaron Jones can run and catch the ball. A.J. Dillon has shown us that he can run and catch the ball. So I think there's a little bit to have with the offense between those two.
No. Let's be honest here. Aaron Jones's ball catching skills are far superior than A.J. Dillon.
Mm-hmm.
But A.J. Dillon, currently, in my opinion, looks like a better ball carrier.
Yeah, right now.
He's way more violent with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, to the offseason, if Green Bay knew what they had with A.J. Dillon,
would they signed Aaron Jones?
That was like a 4-year, $40 million deal that they signed him to. And we talked about this during the offseason when they signed Aaron Jones. Okay, I'm happy because I'm an Aaron Jones fan. I like him.
I know you do.
But by signing Aaron Jones, the $10 million per year deal, you also let Corey Linsley, one of the best centers in football, walk away.
There's something more important than they did.
Signed.
I think they should have let Lindsey and Jones walk away and sign the more important player.
Who would that have been?
Devontae Adams. Hands down. Hands down. You can't even disagree there.
No, I can't. I think Green Bay was foolish for not paying Devontae Adams the money that he was asking because he wants to be paid like a number one wide receiver because he is the
Why draft A.J. Dillon if you're not going to let Aaron Jones walk?
See,
and sign Devontae Adams.
And that's what I'm thinking, how foolish of a decision that is. And, you're thinking the whole domino effect. You fail to sign Devontae Adams. You're thinking, man, this cap space getting tight. We don't want to pay that money.
And I'm not even one of those running backs don't matter people. Well, you draft a running back in the second round. You do not sign another running back to a big deal.
No.
It's just not what you do. Again, team building.
What this reminds me of is another Matt LaFleur team, the Tennessee Titans. They drafted Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry and A.J. Dillon have some similarities. They both have a more punishing running style
picks.
than their starting running back coming into it. So,
but at the same time, DeMarco Murray only had 3 years on his deal. Anyways, we gonna move on because we're running a little over.
I got my WTF moment.
Oh, it's in this game?
Actually, it's plural. There's 3 that I just can't decide between. So I'm gonna drop all 3 on you. Now, this game was lacking the scoring excitement, but it found other ways to be exciting. So, WTF moment's going to be a combination of 3 scenarios. The first one was Pete Carroll digging for his red challenge flag, only to drop something on the field as a placeholder until he could locate the red challenge flag, which happened to be in the other pocket. But what did he throw on the field is something I'm really curious about. I'm thinking, was it a remote for something? Was it a beeper? Was it a pager? I'd love to find out. So that's the first moment. Why is he dropping something on the field? The second one is Carlos Dunlap being penalized for, going back to the Florida Gator roots, picking up a shoe from the Packer player and throwing it downfield. Why did he think he could do that and not get away with it? I don't get it. And then my third WTF moment is DK Metcalf trying to literally and figuratively fight the entire Packer defense.
He could do it.
Until the point where he
can do
rejected. Tries to come back in the game, and the refs caught him and got him back out.
You think he can't? That man could take them all on.
I'm just saying,
have you
why
seen
is he
DK?
trying to do that? You seen him?
I've seen him with his shirt off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But why?
I don't know. He was trying to flex on him.
Is he going to do like that Javon Wims and try and punch a guy with a helmet on?
Maybe they said, I don't like your abs. I'm a fool, I know. All right, next up. Like I've been saying all year long, there's nothing wrong with the Kansas City Chiefs. Teams were playing them differently. They need to adjust. And like all geniuses, Andy Reid got inside the head of his quarterback and told him to take the check down. Take the check down. And he killed him. As long as you take the check down, eventually they're going to creep up. And when they creep up, you can throw it over the top. Also, Patrick Mahomes remembered he has an awesome check down.
By the name of Travis Kelce. Yes.
Sean was already on the queue.
Sure was.
Go ahead, talk about your boy. Because he was awesome in this game.
He did. He came back. He got a swagger back. I think he had, 5 receptions in the first quarter alone? Yeah, buddy. Travis Kelce is back as long as Patrick Mahomes remembers him.
Stays patient.
You can't throw it to Tyreek all the time. You can still throw it to Tyreek.
Seriously. All right. All you need to know about this game is the Raiders have problems, and they seem like finally to be catching up to them.
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs figured things out. They're in first place in the division. They're back on top. People, their demise was highly, highly exaggerated. I had to tell people that Patrick Mahomes was still an awesome quarterback. People were sitting there saying he's the 8th best quarterback in the league. Get the F out of here. Nonsense. I'm sorry. You've heard some of the arguments I've had. Can you even believe that I've had to defend Patrick Mahomes?
It's just a matter of making the adjustments. It wasn't that he regressed or he started playing poor. He just needed to be patient.
But that's what I was saying. And people know he's broken. He's broken. It wasn't just the people we know. There are people in the national media that thought Patrick Mahomes was broken.
Nah, get out of here.
Now, up next, another tight end that is back. My guy, George Kittle, is back on the scene. So we got the top two tight ends back. And yes, it's the top two. Your boy might be the top guy. I'm going to concede that. But you got to admit Kittle is back to number 2. George Waller ain't that guy right now.
Nope, not right now.
But is Kittle back? Yes,
Kittle
he
looked
is.
good.
I mean, San Francisco was not playing well without Kittle. Kittle comes back. All of a sudden, the last 2 weeks, they've played better. Now, I know they got beat last week. It was his first game back. But he had, over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. This week, he didn't have 100 yards, but he had a touchdown. He had a bunch of receptions, and they dominated. I just think his energy in the building helps this team. Also, if anybody saw that block he did on Von Miller, holy mess. If you're on the sidelines and you're a defensive player and you see your tight end do that to one of the best pass rushers in the league, what are you thinking?
Which sideline am I on? Am I on San Francisco sideline or the Rams sideline?
You're on San Francisco.
Oh, yeah. We're getting hyped up for that one. Oh, yeah.
Because you saw that block, right?
No, I didn't see that one.
I sent it to you. You go back and look at it. He pancaked Von Miller. He took Von Miller, drove him backwards, and threw him into the ground.
San Francisco definitely looks better with George Kittle back. And it makes this incredibly weird season just slightly more weird because you're thinking, all right, if San Francisco's got George Kittle, and if they've got Deebo Samuel playing the way they were playing on Monday night,
holy.
like
Did you
you're
see the
thinking
change?
Jimmy Garoppolo could lead this team back to the playoff.
Hold on. We're going to do a shout out right now.
The Deebo
Because
chain.
we got a little chat with our buddy Matt, who might be the most emotional sports fan I know in my life.
Passionate.
I love the man to death. What? What'd you say?
Passionate.
Very passionate. Very passionate. But he sends us this picture. Now, I saw it live, and I was like, holy cow. But he sends us this picture because he's not watching the game, because he saw the, picture. He said, imagine my surprise when I realized this was not Photoshop.
Deebo Samuel. Yeah.
Literally has what looks like a 5-pound chain
More.
of a San Francisco helmet.
I mean, he did score a touchdown on a 4th down where he just took it to the house. So if that's
He
not
also
a reason
scored
to
a rushing
celebrate,
touchdown in that game.
if Kittle and Samuel can do what they did, and they can play consistently well, like this is huge for San Francisco. This is huge for Kyle Shanahan.
Did you hear about what makes his name so adorable? I get it. The name Deebo, adorable. You know where the name Deebo comes from, right? You've seen the movie Friday,
Besides
right?
the movie Friday, yeah.
Yeah, that's where it comes from. Apparently, his father called him Deebo because when he was a little kid, he was always taking stuff that don't belong to him. Oh, Lord. All right, so we are way over time here. We are having way too much fun on this episode. So, Sean, we just going to jump right into words of wisdom.
I don't know anything anymore. This week has proven and shown that I thought I knew this football thing. I don't think I know this football thing.
I'm going to get deep on people. because I'm going to piggyback on Sean. So, people, I'm going to look right into the camera. You never know what could happen at any time. Live life to the fullest. Because life is only worth living when you're doing things that are worthwhile. Live it with no regrets. Peace. We out.